Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is my first video that I'm filming on my NX3000 Samsung. I'm sorry if you can hear the lens like refocusing itself as I'm kind of like moving a little bit. But yeah, I've been meaning to film a vlog on this or just some sort of video on this because I bought this camera like the beginning of June, I think, for like 200 bucks. And it's just been sitting on my shelf, so I'm like, okay, there's shit I want to talk about, so let's pull out the camera. I need to start using it. The first video I'm filming on this camera is going to be talking about my experience with the Paragard so far. If you don't know what that is, it's the copper IUD, so it's going to be a video about birth control. I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience leading up to using deciding on using an IUD or having an IUD inserted. So thank you for clicking on this video, and if this is a topic that doesn't concern you or you're just not interested in, then you can wait until my next video comes out. Let's get started. So I started using birth control when I turned 18 and I was sexually active, and I wanted to be responsible, so I didn't start having sex until I was 18. I was a senior in high school, and I got on a hormonal birth control. I'm pretty sure all birth control is, or pills are hormonal. It was easy for me to track my period while I was taking those pills, and I found that it didn't have like a super terrible effect on my body in terms of like weight gain or weight loss or like my emotional state. I started taking them at a time when I had lost a significant amount of weight for the first time as well, and I found that it didn't really affect like my diet or how much I was craving. I went to college. I started college in 2019 and I was still taking the pill. There was like a period of time where I wasn't super sexually active, but I was just taking them still, right, as routine. I thought that it would be easy to take them in college, but with how my schedule worked out, I found that it was really hard to remember to take my pill, and I would find myself in moments where I would my alarm for my pill would go off, but I wouldn't have them with me, and so I'd be like, oh, like I'll just wait until I get back to my dorm room to take them, and then I would forget. You know, the next day would come, and then I'd be like, oh, should I just take 2 pills? Don't do that. If you're on the pill, or if you've been on the pill before, honestly, just skip it. Take your next day pill. It's gonna throw you out of balance, and also I found that it made me very sick, very nauseous, so don't take more than a day's dose. Halfway through my freshman year of college, I was like, okay, I don't think that the pill is for me anymore. I need something that I can just like get in and then like forget about, right? So I had a boyfriend in college, and we were, you know, having sex, and we were using condoms, and I was still kind of like on the pill as well. But then when I finally stopped, we were still using condoms, and over winter break I decided that I wanted to get Nexplanon inserted. And if you don't know what Nexplanon is, I'm gonna pop a little image right here. So that's Nexplanon. It's the birth control that goes in your arm, and I got it in my left arm, and essentially what they do is I never want to experience this again. It's a flexible plastic bit that's about like 1 inch long, and they make an incision in your arm, and then they pop it in right under the skin, and you can feel it. You can feel the plastic, and it was not like, it was fast and they numb you and everything, but it's, I don't know, I just think it's weird. Like weird in the sense that like I felt uncomfortable being able to feel that under my skin. I had it in for 6 months. Yeah, I don't know if it was the relationship I was in or if it was the Nexplanon. I'm pretty sure it was the Nexplanon, because I just feel like I had a really bad experience. And if you're watching this and you've also tried Nexplanon, then please share your experience down below, because I'm sure there are other women who've tried this method of birth control who have experienced many of the side effects. So within the 6 months that I was on Nexplanon, I had gained 30 to 40 pounds. I was extremely emotional, and just very stressed. And I think that being on Nexplanon only heightened the stress that I was feeling in college as well, and the stress that comes with going through a global pandemic. So at the 6-month mark, I contacted my primary care provider to have Nexplanon taken out. And then, you know, the way that they take it out is the same way they put it in. So they'll go back in, they'll numb you, they'll snip it, and then they'll take like a tweezer and like pry out the plastic bit. And I don't know. Just talking about it makes me uncomfortable because, yeah, again, I don't want to experience that again. After Nexplanon, I decided to let my body reset, and I wasn't on any kind of birth control, and don't be like me, okay? I was having risky intercourse. I didn't want to go on the pill anymore. I didn't want to try IUD. I think you have to be a certain weight for like the patches, and I was over that weight limit, and so they won't let me do the patches. I couldn't do, or not that I couldn't, but I didn't want to do the NuvaRing either, which I think like goes in, you get like 4 for 1 month. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have to do my research on that one, but it's never one that I've looked into, so I'm not entirely sure. Birth control free, having sex and using condoms or not. Sorry if this is TMI, you can click out. In my second relationship in 2022, I wasn't on any sort of birth control, and it was fine. I was fine. There was never any pregnancy scares or anything. 2023, no birth control or anything. I didn't consider it. It was just recently, anyways, that I started Paragard. Being in my early 20s, and trying to find my way and ground myself and discover myself as an individual in the world out of college. I want to be responsible. I don't want to get pregnant right out of the blue. So I spoke with my friend, and she's on a hormonal IUD, and I asked about, you know, what her experience was. I went in with her when she got it in. Outside of spotting, I think she says that it's been like a pretty good experience. Knowing my own body, I was like, I don't know that I do well on hormonal birth control, so let me try the Paragard, which is a copper IUD, which is it's like a spermicide. So I got that put in on June 26th, and the Paragard is good for 10 years. I think my doctor said that the side effects would be heavier cramping, more discomfort, and also heavier bleeding. And let me tell you, I have been experiencing that. I feel like it's only gotten more intense with the Paragard in these last 2 months, and I have my August period right now. And oh my goodness, I feel like death. My method of catching period blood, which I prefer and I think that is environmentally friendly, I suppose, is using the Diva Cup. I've used the Diva Cup for 5 years now, and it's been amazing. I never have issues, but since getting the IUD, my doctor did recommend me to not use a Diva Cup because she was like, it's very likely that if you're not okay, or if you're not careful, the suction of your IUD will suck the IUD out of your cervix. That scared me. I have my Diva Cups. I have yet to try to use them with my IUD, and so I've been using pads. What I've been experiencing is that my periods will be extremely light and extremely painful for like the first 4 days. With the Paragard, it'll be extremely heavy the last few days. And that's been really hard because when I do have heavier periods, I prefer to not feel it coming out of me. And I prefer to have it just be caught into a cup and then I empty it out, right? But I'm a little too fresh into having this IUD and just a little nervous about any accident that might happen, that I would have to make an appointment and go back in to like get it reinserted or something. So I've been using the Always Flex Foam, and honestly, they've been really nice. And it's true, they are definitely They're extra heavy flow, zero feel, zero leak. I can feel it, but there's zero leak. Having to buy pads again for the first time in 5 years just made me realize how much I despise having to go and buy pads every single month when I have my period. So I'm honestly might start using my Diva Cup again next month. And just being like extra careful about pulling it out during emptying sessions. My flow is a lot heavier, and the cramping pre-period week and also during my period week are extremely painful. It feels like death. I feel like I'm gonna die. And so I always make sure I have Tylenol on hand or Midol on hand because fuck, it hurts. And when I say it hurts, I mean like the cramping in my abdomen and like my bloating, it's so bad, and my lower back in particular hurts a lot during my period. So that's only been intensified, and I almost feel like I can't really do much. The Paragard is not recommended for patients who are anemic, because if you're already bleeding during your period a lot and you're anemic, the Paragard is only gonna make you bleed more, so it could be a dangerous combination. I will probably come back next month to let you all know how the Diva Cup works out with my IUD, and that's pretty much the video. I just wanted to share this experience. If you have an IUD inserted, or if you're on any other kind of birth control, please comment down below and let me know what you're using and what your symptoms are. I guess if there's anything else that I can answer that I didn't answer in this video about my experience, my ongoing experience with the Paragard, please leave your questions down below as well. I honestly don't know if I'll keep it in for the 10 years that it's good for, obviously. And I think that like when the time comes that I do choose to get it out, I know that's like, it's really soon to be talking about that because I've only had it in for 2 months. Then I will try to vlog my experience, because I do hear that like the process of taking an IUD out is very chaotic and very painful, because they literally just like yank it out of your cervix, and yeah, that doesn't seem right. Oh my gosh, I didn't even talk about the insertion experience. So when I went in, they do recommend that you take like a Tylenol, I think like up to an hour before the insertion. I found that I was okay. I think that my pain tolerance is just really high, so that's why I'm surprised that like the symptoms that I've been experiencing, crampings, are so intensified. But obviously insertion and actually going through my period symptoms are very different. It was a very, very smooth process for me. I felt no pain, there was no discomfort until after I went home and was home for like a couple hours. And I'm like, oh yeah, like there's like a little bit of cramping. But other than that, it was super smooth. And then I didn't feel like any pain the next day or the days following. I only started to feel pain after I experienced my first period with a Paragard. So I didn't experience any spotting. Last month's period was very standard outside of extra pain. My regular weekly period, there was no like extra days of bleeding or like earlier days of spotting prior to me getting my period. Yeah, it's fairly normal. So I've had like a pretty normal menstrual cycle. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's probably a little bit long and I'm trying to get through it as fast as I can, but yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon. Bye.